looking right at me. I'm not going down there while that monster's looking right at me. There's no talking to octopuses. I'm not going down.
You know, Tim's really into Black Velvet.
Right at me.
Yeah.
And when I showed up, my first day of work, there was a Black Velvet kind of canvas. I don't know what it was. It was like this kind of like you'd win it at the fair kind of thing. And it was like the Grim Reaper on a motorcycle with Mount Fuji in the background with these eagles flying out of it. Yeah. And it was just pinned to the wall above my desk on the project. And for the entire project, we really didn't talk much about it. It was just kind of there. And then when I moved on to the next project after it, I left my desk exactly the way I had found it, with the thing pinned up to the wall and the whole thing. And then Tim came and gave it to me. I still have it in my office right now. But he was like, that's the mural that binds together Full Throttle and Grim Fandango, because it's the Grim Reaper on a motorcycle.
There's no talking to octopuses. I'm not going down there while that monster's looking right at me. Ugh. Watch those hands, clams.
You know, Tim's really into Black Velvet.
I can't get anywhere near the sub while that monster's guarding it. I can't get anywhere near the sub while that monster's guarding it. Hey, I've got more important things on my mind than jewel thievery.
Not me!
I can't get any. I'm not going down there while that monster's looking right at me.
Hey, lay off! Let go! Hey, let go! Where are you going? Let go! You can't leave me here all alone! Come back here! Ah!
She's coming back.
We're heading south! But there's nothing on that edge of the world! Except the edge! Manny?
Don't ask, carnal, 'cause I don't know.
And this is the part of the game I feel like is a lot more inspired by actually City of Lost Children.
Children, yeah, right.
That came out around that time, had a big influence on us. I think that's why we have a marching underwater diver too. Like there's a lot of scenes in City of Lost Children where there's a diver just marching on the floor of the ocean. It just seems so dramatic, and just he's made this slow and steady slow and steady progress, but he was so heavy and thick.
No flying fleas, though.
No flying fleas.
Gladys, I'm gonna sneak inside and look for Meche.
What if that octopus comes back while you're gone?
Poke him in the eye and steal his sub.
Stupid octopus.
Tim had the coolest office.
He did.
It was filled with like tiki lights, and it felt like it was like Christmas land. Not Christmassy, but it gave you that same feeling of decoration and hominess.
Yeah. I was going to say warmth, yeah. Hominess. There's a couch in there, which was always nice.
Yep. And I think I probably overstayed my welcome in there a few times.
Yeah.
I think we all probably did.
You never knew when you should leave because it was so much fun in there, but then it's like, oh man, he has work to do.
Yeah, it's no wonder he had to work through the night. It's because we'd
bother him all
his
the time.
office was like going to Disneyland, and you just sit in there and talk on the couch and just want to be a part of this this creation.
I had some old game consoles in there, and I would go and talk classic games with him because he knew that I was an enthusiast as well. So that was fun.
I think he should have made his office more boring.
Are the 3 stripes on the back of Manny's head, is that hair?
No, it's just a lazy design element to match the front of his head.
Oh, and the tops of his hands, remember? There's little stripes
Just
on there,
the
too.
Day of the Dead decorations, right?
Yeah.
I never knew what it was. I just thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm. It's an Adidas homage.
It's empty.
Yeah, so people, a lot of people may know this already, but for those that don't, the game is just a big pre-rendered picture. There's no 3D geometry in the game that describes the walls and the doors and the tables and all the props that are in the game. That's just a picture, a painting that's drawn in the background. So somebody...
Meche,
Manny, what are you doing here?
I wanted to see how your trip was going, Angel. I am your travel agent, you know. By the way, thanks for that bottle of champagne you sent me. It really hit the spot.
You were headed for a trap. I was trying to warn you. Domino was using me like bait. I didn't want you to end up a prisoner here like me.
Prisoner? Where's your cell? Or are you just sharing a bunk with the warden?
If that's what you think of me, then why did you come here?
Because this is where he belongs. Here, working for me. I knew you'd come around eventually. Right or wrong, Manuel Calavera is always with the winning team, right, Manny? That's why you're here now.
I'm getting off this rock, and I'm taking all of these people with me.
Manny, there's no way off this island. I'm afraid you're stuck here in my little executive training program. See, I need you to take my place here, kid. I've got to get back to the city where the action is.
Sorry, Manny, but I had to come in. My skin was getting all pruny.
Him, I don't need.
I'm gonna grind you to powder for that, cabrón.
Maybe later. But for now, let me just show you your new office.
Careful, BB. The new boss is waking up.
I always thought those girls are so cute. I just had to be mean to them. Like once when my sister got her tonsils taken out, she had big puffy cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
I remember my aunt came to visit and she goes, "Oh, you look so cute. I just want to be mean to you." And I never really understood it until we had these little baby angels in the game. I just want to just terrorize them so you can get out your scythe and scare them and do all these horrible things.
It's the Mr.
Sick.
Bill and it's the Mr. Hands in all of us.
Angelitos is actually the little children in the cage. Comes from a term that it was a popular kind of well, it was traditional in Mexico to take pictures of your children even if they were died very young.
Yes.
Like photography of little dead
it's a
children
whole
in a coffin.
genre. Yeah, it's.
I don't know if
really...
that happened in the States, but it was definitely in Mexico.
Mexico, yeah, I've seen those. I think you showed them to me actually.
And the word they use for children when they're young when they die is angelitos.
Oh yeah.
It's a dark game.
It is dark.
Hola, angelitos.
I'll bite you, I swear to God!
Please don't bite anyone else, Pugsy. That's why they put us in the cage in the first place.
My name is Manny Calavera. What's yours?
Mr. Hurley told us about you. You're the one who tricked Meche.
Poor Meche.
I didn't trick anybody.
Mr. Hurley said he was supposed to take care of Meche, but you stole her case from him.
Is that true?
Let me see if I can explain this whole thing to you. You see, I had this job, selling travel packages to immigrant souls. If I sold enough of them, I got to leave the land of the dead. Now, I was in a slump, and I really needed a fat commission, so...
You're a bad man.
Go away, bad man!
Yeah, go away!
Mitch is my friend. You can ask her.
She talked about you before.
Every time she says your name, she looks so sad.
I don't know what you did to her, but you're gonna be sorry!
What are you two doing in this cage?
Making light bulbs.
Look, we're working as hard as we can. Why don't you leave us alone?
Listen, children, I'm here to help.
There's really not much more room in here.
Your hands are too big to make light bulbs.
I'm here to help you get out of this cage.
You can't do that. We have to stay here and take care of Mitchie.
She'd be so sad here all alone. Sometimes we hear her crying, you know.
My hands are not too big to make light bulbs.
Then why don't you help?
I just don't have any of those little tiny tools, that's all.
Here, take my hammer.
Okay, back to work.
So mean.
Fly, be free, go buy Domino.
Leave us alone.
If we get out again, he'll hurt Meche.
Fine then, stay in there.
He is mean.
Look, it's my Prince Charming. Are you back here just to insult me some more, or do you just want some ice for your head?
Come on, we're getting out of here.
Trying to steal my commission from Domino again. Manny, don't you ever give up?
I'm gonna go see about getting us a boat.
Ooh, remember to get a fast one so we can water ski, all right?
I'm not after any commission. I just want to get us both out of here.
Then why don't you just ask your boss for the day off?
I'm gonna go...
Ooh. Ow! Oh, my stockings! They're ruined! And this was my best pair! You try to have one nice thing on this cruel island.
Good enough for me.
What is?
Oh, the speed at which you're working.
That's nice, Manny, but you're not my boss, so really I couldn't care less.
Good. Excellent. Carry on. Can't believe you think he's my boss. He's my arch enemy.
I think he's your boss. You think he's my boyfriend. We don't seem to have a good foundation of trust in our relationship, do we?
I'm sorry I implied he was your boyfriend. I do trust you.
Well, I'm not sure I trust you about that, but I'll tell you one thing that would convince me.
Name it.
Give me your gun.
What? What makes you think I have a gun?
You work for the most heavily armed organization in the land of the dead. Don't try to tell me they didn't issue you a gun.
I don't work for the most heavily armed organization anywhere.
You know, you're right. There are those rumors of that revolutionary army that's been stockpiling weapons.
Actually, them, I work for.
Manny, why don't you come back when you're willing to deal straight with me, okay?
One of the things with Manny's head and the look at stuff was that really meant that you couldn't put a lot of inventory items very close to each other, or it limited the number of things in a room, because even though you could toggle through and you would look at things kind of in sequence, it could get tricky on if you put like 3 things on a table. Was he looking at thing number 1, thing number 2, or thing number 3? So that was an interesting thing, because Lucas was known for these adventure games were very dense. Yeah, lots of things to click on the screen, and you really couldn't do that here. But the game doesn't really feel lacking.
I feel like that's filled in with dialogue. I mean, ultimately, you know, you'd have those 100 pixel games. You'd have a million things, and you'd have to have one line for each thing. And for this one, it's more like there are fewer things, but there's more to say about each one. More context, or, you know, Manny kind of thinking to himself about things, more ruminating. So I think it adds to the character, just in terms of how much you kind of understand Manny or empathize with him.
Ooh, to the moon, he said. Huh? Who? Oh, you, is it? Why, I oughta look at my eyebrows.
Nice drill.
Drill? This here is a cordless, high-speed reciprocating chisel. And look, it's a bust-all. They usually don't give these to the new guys.
How'd you get a bust-all?
I'm connected, plugged in, and I had some booty to trade. Trade's the name of the game out here in the Big Reef.
Relax, we're busting out of here soon.
We are done traveling together. I work solo, my friend, and I walk alone.
Well, you don't want that big octopus to see you chatting.
Oh, brother, that's right.
You know, a little clear nail polish would fix these right up. Hey, Cheppy, check out the hosiery.
Say, these are real silk. Where'd you find them?
I've been wearing them the whole time.
You too? Want to trade something for them?
Don't suppose you're packing any firepower in there?
Are you kidding? I got everything. How about a nice semi-automatic?
Deal. Ah, my first Sproutella gun. Is it loaded?
No. Hey, bullets are hard to get. Stupid chisel.
Yo, Pedo, have you ever seen an authentic little chipper?
A little chipper? No, I haven't. But I'd sure love to give it a test drive. Say, little chipper, you're okay. Ah, sweet Mary. Oh, Virginia.
Nothing but dark waters that direction.
God, this is where people nowadays would be like, Tim, the ideas you have here about this conveyor belt where you can switch directions and rip a chain with a scoop, it's really complicated, and we could eliminate a lot of work if we just cut this one puzzle. But this is like, no, we went all the way and we fully implemented exactly what I hoped would happen. The conveyor belt would reverse direction, chain would go up and down, Manny would climb down and against the force of water, bunch up the chain. This is all so complicated. Oh, and you create a little loop. I was like, this all makes sense in my mind, so the player will be able to figure this out. Like the way that you looped it over that boat. I don't even know if that would work. That's like when you whip a hose to like get it uncaught when you're watering the plants in the back.
So one of the things that was another technical problem that was really interesting was the save load, because I wanted to cut a bunch of corners on save load to just make it a little easier to implement. And we had talked about things like you could only save and load, or when you load, it would load at the beginning of a room and back up content a little bit, or just do it where it was a little bit more convenient. And Tim really wanted a really high fidelity save load, and I remember trying to talk him out of it, and he threw the gauntlet down, and he was like, if Manny's in the middle of a line and there's a puff of smoke hanging in the air, and I hit save, when he restores, he should pick up from the middle of that line where he was at, and that puff of smoke should be in the air. And I was like, all right, man, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. And it was a big pain. It took a lot of work to get it there. But that's the way the game shipped, and that's kind of, with controls and things like that. Tim was pretty uncompromising and had a vision of what he wanted this thing to be. And as much as we were able, we gave him what he wanted.
So this whole environment, I think, was worked on around.
I can't even imagine what was going through his head at this point, because just the size of this game, being able to absorb it all before it's realized.
And he always had a really good idea of where we were and what was going on. Yep. And we were talking earlier about how there really wasn't a schedule that I remember, an art schedule for this game. It almost seemed like we just all sort of chose tasks, and then we had Leslie sort of following up to make sure we were doing them in about as much time as they should take, or not getting bogged down or stuck.
I can see why they don't give these chisels to the new guys. I can't believe you got it to float.
That was the easy part. The trick's gonna be busting through that big coral reef out there.
Bust through a big coral reef, eh? It just so happens I got some hardware up the beach you might be interested in.
Oh yeah, this will do just fine. Just give me a sec to do some figuring.
I don't want to bug him. He's figuring. Here, what good's a relationship without trust?
True, a relationship without trust is about as empty as a gun without bullets. Guess you didn't realize a smart girl always keeps an extra round in her hat for mad days. Come on, let's go.
Mitchie, you don't know what you...
I know exactly what I'm doing. Now move!
Would you just listen to my escape plan first?
Trouble in paradise, kids?
You're letting us go right now, or your boy Friday here gets it.
Well, I hate to see you go, Manny, but the lady seems to have made up her mind.
I'm serious. I'll shoot him.
Fine. He really doesn't work for me anyway.
But I thought I'll shoot you then.
No, you won't. You're too good, remember?
I'm not good anymore. You've taken that out of me, keeping me a prisoner here. I'm gonna crack you open like a fake wing gauze. I'm gonna...
Kid's all right. She's a firecracker, but a night in the cooler usually dampens her fuse.
It's locked. Nah, those kids would probably only want to hear Mitchie read these books anyway. I don't want to bust all that.
I think I'm running out of air.
I don't want to mess up the wheel. I don't want to mess...
I'm in here!
Ah!
It's me, Meche!
Must have hit a major circuit. But it looks like I've exposed the guts here. I can't move those by hand. I need this wheel.
Are the three stripes on the back of Manny's head